Welcome to Smack This, the unofficial Godsmack podcast. I'm your host, Kevin Humphrey, where I talk all things Godsmack. This is episode 10. It's a celebration. 10! Woohoo! 10 weeks of talking Godsmack. And we'll continue on. There's a lot more stuff to talk about as the weeks go on. We got these shows coming up, which I'll do a review on. There's more albums to talk about. Oh my goodness, there's all kinds of stuff. Solo albums, his book, a movie, uh, Robbie, Shannon, and Tony's side projects, Another Animal, the Blues Revival. There's just all kinds of stuff still to talk about. Hopefully, a new single, I hope, and the new album sometime. I hope next year at least. Godsmack news this week. There really hasn't been anything uh, groundbreaking, I should say. They posted some stuff on social media about the Las Vegas show, so to remind fans to get your tickets to the Vegas. So if you live in or around Las Vegas, make sure you get your tickets. Other than that, that's about it. They've been kind of quiet, which I kind of thought they would be, because the Boston show, August the 27th, is coming up pretty fast. So I'm sure they're rehearsing and getting the set list ready, and that's got me excited because I'm wondering what the set list is going to be. What's the stage going to look like? Is it going to be different? Is it going to be the same as the radio festival? Who knows? Other than that, that's about it for this week's news. Like I said, it's episode 10, a celebration. Woo! So get your party hats on, your kazoos, a balloon, confetti, whatever you're going to get, and let's celebrate. And ironically, this week we're talking about Godsmack, the greatest hits album, 10 years of Godsmack, episode 10, 10 years of Godsmack, kind of worked out that way. Didn't plan on it, just kind of happened. It's Good Times, Bad Times CD. So we're going to talk about that this week. As far as the timeline goes, let's go timeline. So as we left off in episode 9, the band recorded the 4 album, went on a headlining tour, and they had some really cool opening acts, I thought. Our Cast, Breaking Benjamin, which I'm really digging them here a lot lately. Soul, Soil. Shine Down, there's another band I'm kind of digging here more lately. Kill Rhythm, and a bunch of others. And they toured throughout 2006 and 2007. They even did some radio festivals on the 4 tour. And they didn't really call it the 4 tour, but we'll get to it. We're going to talk about Crew Fest 2 next week with the Oracle album, so there's a little hint on that about next week. When they released this album, it was released December the 4th, 2007. It only released one single, Good Times, Bad Times, which is a Led Zeppelin song, a cover song. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. And they also made a video for it. The album peaked at number 35. As far as selling wise, the only thing I can really find is that it's at least sold 40,000 copies, because that's how much it sold on the very first week of its release. I can't find anything else to say if it's gone gold or platinum. I would at least say gold. I don't know though. If you know or can find something, let me know. The band did sorta, kinda, almost promote this album. They did a total of 8 shows in 2008 to promote it. They really just were on vacation, pretty much. Um, I mean, think about it. I mean, 4 albums, an EP, 3 DVDs. They've been headlining since the Awake album, which was the second album. Yeah, it was probably time to come up for some fresh air and get a little breather. Um, so other than that, that's about it as far as timeline goes. Now, I don't want to go through and talk about all the tracks on this. I only want to talk about one song, and that's the Good Times, Bad Times song. But here are the other songs that's on this, and then I have a question about it because that's been bothering me for years and still today. Okay, so you got Good Times, Bad Times, Whatever, Keep Away, Voodoo, and Bad Religion, all from the first album. Then you got Awake and Greed from Awake, the second album. Then you got I Stand Alone, Straight Out of Line, Serenity, and Realign, all from the Faceless album, the third one. Then you got Running Blind and Touche from the Other Side EP. And then you got Speak, Shine Down, and The Enemy from the 4 album. So here's my question. They're all singles on this album, on this greatest hits. Well, there's one single they kind of left off, and that's Bad Magic. It was the third single off of the Awake album. I've said it before, it didn't get played here, but I did some research on Bad Magic. In fact, one of the big kind of captions on it when you Google search it and look for it is it's the one single left off of 10 years of Godsmack, Good Times and Bad Times, which is kind of funny to think about it. But like I said, I did some research, and as far as rock radio, the single actually was a number 12 single, top 20 single. So why is it on here? Was it a mistake that they mistakenly left it off? Was there not enough room on the CD to put it on here? I don't know. I'd love to know. Ask the guys, maybe Paul Gary, the manager. I don't know. I'd like to know why it ain't on here. But that being said, so alright, so I want to talk about the one song I want to talk about on this greatest hits was the Good Times and Bad Times song. It's a Led Zeppelin cover song off of Led Zeppelin 1. I think they did a fantastic cover of this. It still sounds Zeppelin, but it's got a little splash of Godsmack in it, so it doesn't stray too far. It's kind of in the middle. It's really good. I love it. It's that good. You can tell that the band had fun recording this song. You can just hear it. Robbie does that little slide bass part in the song. Shannon's got a little bit of extra drumming in the song. Tony's solo is great. The way Sully sings it, it's fantastic. The video, oh my goodness, is fantastic. It was Godsmack Day in Boston, so they decided to record the video for this song in Boston, in the streets of Boston to be exact. A bunch of fans showed up, and they're part of the video. What's also cool about this video is they throw in a bunch of old clips, behind the scenes kind of stuff, thrown into the video, so you kind of get the history of the band when you watch it. It's very cool. It's that good. Alright, so that's it as far as the CD part is concerned. Now I do want to talk about more in depth is the DVD, because you get a DVD when you buy this. So there's the CD, which looks like an album, and then you kind of flip it, and then there's the DVD. The DVD is live DVD. It's an acoustic show. So as the CD is looking forward, the DVD pulls you back in time. In fact, you're going back to 2004, which was the Faceless, The Other Side tour, uh, when they were being the special guest for Metallica. They did these one-off shows of acoustic shows. They kind of rented out some theaters, 1,000-seat theaters, and did these acoustic shows. They recorded this one, and I think it's fantastic. So I'm going to talk about stage real fast. The stage was really cool looking. It's almost invites you in. It's almost like just a jam room, almost. I really can't describe it other than that. There's curtains in the back that are kind of hanging down. You got the Gargoyles are back from the Wake the F Up tour. They're actually up at the front of the stage this time. The Godsmack Sun logo, also from the Wake tour, is back, and it's hanging up above Shannon. There's Christmas lights that are on, and then you got Robbie on this side, Sully in the middle, and Tony on this side, Shannon in the back behind the drum kit. And on his left side, there's a mini bongo drum kit. And then on Shannon's right side, there's a red couch. And we'll talk more about that here in a second as we go through the DVD. There's rugs, there's throw rugs on the floor. Tony, Sully, and Robbie each get one. It's just really cool setup. I really dig it a lot. Okay, so let's talk about the DVD. An Evening with Godsmack. It was recorded November the 23rd, 2004, at the House of Blues in Las Vegas, Nevada. And it was directed by Daniel Cowtel, who also was part of the Changes DVD, which I talked about that in episode 8. Ironically, it was mixed, the audio was mixed by, as I've said in last week's episode, a legendary Andy Johns. It almost kind of makes me wonder if this was kind of a tryout kind of thing to see if they and Andy could work together, and of course it did, and they ended up doing Godsmack 4. Let's see, what else? There's 2 special guests on this show. Lee Richards, the original guitar player for Godsmack, who left before the band got signed because he found out he was a dad. In fact, that's mentioned in the show. He's actually the one on the red couch, so playing rhythm guitar. And then the other one, and he comes out later during the encore, and that's John Costco, and I've talked about him as well. He's in the Other Side EP doing Touche with Sully. He's also does the Spinky part of the song Speak, which I talked about last week in episode 9. So yeah, like I said, he helped his friends. I mean, I think that's great. He was helping out Dropbox, which was Lee Richards and John Cusco's band at the time. So yeah, I mean, he was lending a helping hand whenever he could. Let's see, what else? The DVD's a little over an hour, probably about an hour and 5 minutes, I would guess. Now, the start of the show, the bass intro for the song Tripping starts, so Robbie starts the show. And video effects, the Godsmack logo kind of shows up, fades in. An Evening with kind of fades in. And then the song goes in. So let's talk about the songs on the DVD. Like I said, Tripping is the first song, so you got that intro from Robbie. It's fantastic. I think this song is better acoustic than electric, but that's just me. Um, it's a great song all the way around, I think. Uh, so after the song, Sully welcomes the crowd, talks about this show being an acoustic show. It's stripped down, um, just a cool vibe. Um, then we get to song number 2, which is Realign. I love this song. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I love this song. Wish they would play it more. If they're watching, play it, please. Um, it's absolutely fantastic acoustic. It sounds great electric on the Faceless album, on the other side EP, on this DVD, on Changes DVD. Yeah, it's just great. I really like this song. The lyrics are fantastic. Um, I love it. Let's see, what else? I gotta get my notes out here. So then we go to track number 3, and track number 3 is off the Other Side EP, and that was Running Blind. Sully talks a little bit about the song before they launch into it. He talks about there was infighting within the band during the Wake the F Up tour uh, with drugs and alcohol and egos and all that kind of stuff, and he wrote this song. Again, fantastic song. It's great live. Um, Lee Richards kind of comes in this part. I mean, he's on the stage already, but he kind of helps out on backing vocals, and he actually sings a line in the song to kind of help Sully catch his breath before the next line. So yeah, it's great. I really like this song a lot. Now, what's interesting about these acoustic shows was they really wanted to make it a personal thing. They really wanted it to be where they could interact with the fans and really close and personal. So what they did was they would do a couple of songs, then they would do these Q&A with the fans. So they would have somebody come out, one of the road crew guys, with a microphone and go to a fan. Hey, you got a question for them? Okay, here we go. So there's the first part of this. It actually takes place twice on the DVD. Somebody asked about the Navy thing. Somebody asked about the Serenity song, which Sully talks about Neil Peart from Rush, the book The Ghost Rider. And then, ironically, they go right into the next song, which is Serenity. Again, great live. It really fits this show because, of course, it's already acoustic already on the album. Yeah, this just great live feel to it. Shannon actually comes behind the drum kit and gets on the bongo drum kit for this song. The crowd sings along with the chorus. It's outstanding. Again, it's just a great song. Then after the song, let's see, Sully introduces Lee Richards and talks about the history between Godsmack and Lee Richards, and which I've already talked about before. Episode. Next song is Voodoo, and it's great, acoustic, electric. It don't matter. This song is just, to me, it's almost an icon song for him. It gets played a lot, yeah, on the radio, yeah, but when you hear it live, for me, it just takes on a whole new level. The crowd sings along, and it's just fantastic. It's so good. There you go. So after that song, Sully goes behind the bongo kit for the next song, and they do another Q&A with the fans. sort of the highlight of it is, and it's actually gotten asked, I've heard twice on this DVD and another show, which I'll talk about towards the end of this podcast. Um, Fans saying how much or what does it feel like to blow Metallica off the stage. And as soon as this guy says that, I mean, the crowd just goes ballistic. And you can tell it kind of embarrasses Sully and Shannon and Tony and Robbie a little bit. Because even Sully says, well, we idolize them and, all that stuff. But, I didn't see this tour, sadly. But yeah, like I said, I've heard it twice, and this is one of them. So if you saw this show, uh, the Godsmack Metallica thing, let me know. What did you think? Did Godsmack blow him off the stage? I don't know. I would think so, but that's me. Anyway, so, and now we get to the song number 6, and that is Sparrow. It's just amazing. It's one of my favorites off the Awake album. I love it. It's just so good. Sully's on the bongos playing, and it's just fantastic. It's a great song all the way around. It really, again, it's another kind of like Serenity. It really fits the acoustic kind of setting. Another one would be Tripping. It's really good to hear acoustic. Now, we're going to the Battle of the Drums, sorta. So, it basically starts off with a Robbie Morrell bass solo, and I don't think Robbie, and this is my opinion, so here's my opinion on this week. I don't think Robbie gets enough credit that for a bass player. I think he gets overlooked. I think he's fantastic. I think he could overplay if he wanted to. He's just really good. If you don't believe me, check out this Battle of the Drums on this DVD. The way he plays the bass, he kind of does this slapping the bass, kind of like Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. It's really good. If you watch the Changes DVD, Sully actually talks about Robbie playing, and Robbie's doing all these. He's playing left-handed, so he's playing all these fantastic notes, and you're like, wow, this is just crazy. He's so good. Yeah, I don't think he gets. I think he's really underrated. Not for me as a fan, but yeah, he doesn't get the credit he deserves, I don't think. So anyway, so it starts off with that, and then Sully comes back on stage on the bongo kit. They do a couple of licks back and forth, and then Shannon comes out and he joins in. So now it's just Sully and Shannon doing a little drum off there. Then Tony comes out. Then the whole band starts to play. Everybody pretty much gets to shine on this part. In fact, there's a little bit of a drum solo from Shannon, Mr. Shannon Larkin, on this. It's just fantastic. If you don't believe me how great of a drummer Shannon Larkin is, check this out. I mean, he's just all over the place. It's fantastic. He's so fun to watch. It's just my jaw drops every time I watch him play. But yeah, everybody shines in this. They don't do any kind of like medley songs like they do in Changes DVD or the tours from here on out, where they do like that little drum sample medley thing. They don't do this in the acoustic show. So again, it kind of lets everybody kind of shine. Now we go back to the songs. Sully goes back up to the front of the stage, and they do "Keep Away." Um, I mean, what can I say about Keep Away? It's fantastic. Acoustic, electric, don't matter. Song still kicks butt. It's the song that made me buy the first album and make me become a Godsmack fan to begin with. Um, yeah, I love it. The crowd's really energetic in this song, sings along. Um, there's the part that I talked about in on the other side episode, which I think is episode 7. I'm sorry. Yeah, I think so. 7. Uh, if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But I got them all labeled, so you'll find it. But he does I call it the Ric Flair woo thing. And the song on the EP, he does it live on this, and it's just great. It's great to hear. You can tell they're having fun on it. Okay, now we get to the encore, and that, or before I start that part, so the encore comes and the band comes back on stage. Sully thanks the crowd, and in fact, he talks about Godsmack 4 coming out. They're going to start recording that. So, like I said, it's Back to the Future. Back to the Future. So we're going back in time before the 4 album. So, but yeah. And then, so we go song-wise. So he introduces John Costco, who comes out, and they do Touche from the Other Side EP. And it's fantastic live. Love this song. I love how they interact with one another on this song. It's so good. It's really that good. It's so freaking good. And now we're going to track number 9. It's the last song on the DVD, and that is Reefer Head Woman. Reefer Head Woman. It is a cover song by Aerosmith on their album Nights in the Ruts. Sully, huge Aerosmith fan. I like Aerosmith a lot myself. Now, it's a cover song, like I said, of Aerosmith, which is a cover song. So it's a cover of a cover. It's a cover song that they did by the guy by the name of Jazz Gillam, Gillam, who was a blues player. It's a great song. Is it my favorite off this DVD? Not really. I kind of would have liked them to do another Godsmack song, but Sully likes doing those just for fun songs, and this is one of them. Again, huge Aerosmith fan that he is, and I can see it. I can overlook it. So, but it's a great song. Starts off with Sully playing harmonica. Again, it's a great blues song. He and John kind of trade verses, singing it. The band's jamming on it. In fact, Tony gets an electric guitar, so he trades his acoustic for an electric. Lee Richards actually plays a guitar solo and acoustic guitar, and then Tony joins in and plays lead guitar on the electric. Yeah, it's a good song. Like I said, is it my favorite? No, no, but it's a good song. I will say that. It's a great cover of a cover song. And then Sully thanks the crowd, and that's pretty much it. That's the show. It's a great DVD. I rate it. I rate it 10 out of 10. I can overlook Reefer. I'll listen to it and watch the show. But yeah, I'm not singing along to it. I'm tapping. That's one thing, I guess. So that's it as far as the DVD part goes, and as far as 10 years of Godsmack, good times, bad times. But I want to go a little bit extra on you on this week's episode. As I've said earlier in the podcast, they did these one-off shows when they were doing special guest for Metallica to kind of promote the Other Side EP. I did come across a show a couple of years ago, I think. Had to be, yeah. Um, on YouTube. I put it on my playlist, so if you go to my channel, look on my playlist, it's right there. Um, it's Godsmack live in Columbia, South Carolina. It's an acoustic show. Um, it's way different than this one that's on the DVD. In fact, it's an earlier show before the DVD. Some changes on it. There's no Lee Richards. There's no John Costco in it. It's just the band. The one that plays rhythm guitar for Sully, which is another interesting thing that I thought about these acoustic shows, is Sully's not playing guitar. He actually has his guitar tech, who I can't think of the name of, is actually playing on the stage. He's playing rhythm for him. But yeah, it's a great show. It's over an hour. It's like an hour and 15 minutes, I would say. It's probably got the crowd cheering in between the regular set and the encore, so it's kind of a little short. But yeah, it's a great show. In fact, if it wasn't for because it was on DVD, this is probably my favorite acoustic show that they've done. They still do the fan Q&A in these shows. Right off the top of my head, I remember somebody asking Sully about the IF and 8U song about the neighbor, and Sully's like, yeah. Yeah, so they still do that in this show. But yeah, check out this set list for this. Columbia, South Carolina, November the 12th, so yeah, it's earlier, a few weeks earlier than the Vegas show, 2004. So here's the song list. So they start off with Asleep, which is awesome. I think that this should have opened up this show, but I don't know. It is slow. It's awake on acoustic, so they've slowed the song really down. But I think it's great. I think the live version of this is fantastic. So there's one uh, difference. Um, and then you got Trippin'. And then song number 3 is Realign. Song number 4 is Running Blind. Song number 5 is Voices. So here's another difference in the set list. They played this live, and it sounds fantastic live. Then you get to song number 6, which is Serenity. Song number 7 is a cover song called Homeward. Now, in this show, Sully says this is from a band that they knew back in 95, 96, but he doesn't say who the band is. So if you know this song and know who this band is that he's referring to, let me know, because I have no clue. He doesn't say. But what I will say is this: it's a great song. I never heard it before until I listened to this. Track number 8, or song number 8, is Voodoo. Song number 9 is Sparrow. Song number 10 is Battle of the Drums. So it's like the DVD. It starts off with the bass solo and goes into it. And then song number 11 is Keep Away. And then the encores are Touche, which Sully sings all by himself, which is fantastic. Either him or John together, it's so good. I almost prefer it, almost like it when Sully just sings it himself, but just tiny bit. And then you get to song number 13, which is No Excuses. So here's another cover song. It's an Alice in Chains song, a band that influenced Sully as well. So that's on here that they do. A great cover version of it. And then the last song on it that they do is the Reefer Head Woman. Again, no John Costco or Lee Richards, but it's still good. It's really good. Um, Now, another difference, and I forgot to talk about this, is it's not a video per se. It's more audio. There is video to look at, but it's like snapshots of that concert uh, that whoever put this on there uploaded. Um, it's great. You check it out. I think it's fantastic. If you like these acoustic shows like I do, this is the one I like to listen to a lot in the car, like during the week. When I do the other side EP, I go to this because it is a short EP, and I'll Google search or get on YouTube, look it up, and find this song. Now it's on my playlist, so now I know exactly where it's at. So if you want to check that out, check that out. Um, so this week, homework. Rate the CD, Greatest Hits CD, 1 out of 10. I'm going to give it a 10. The DVD as well, I'll give it a 10. What do you think about the Led Zeppelin cover? Do you like it? Do you hate it? I like it. But what do you think? Same thing with the DVD. Do you like it? Do you not? Do you wish it was the Electric Show? Although, I mean, you got Changes. That was pretty much the same tour. Maybe they could have put the 4 tour on there. I don't know. But I like it. It's different. So it's acoustic, bare bones kind of thing. Shows how talented they are as songwriters and musicians. Yeah, that's your homework. So rate it 1 out of 10, the CD and the DVD. Do you like the Led Zeppelin cover? Do you like the DVD? You know? Alright, so episode 11 next week, next Thursday. I'm going to talk about the Oracle album. I'm going to stay with the Godsmack albums. I'll go back in time and do another Animal and Sully solo album. But I want to keep on the Godsmack side portion of it. So as of right now, so we're going to go with the Oracle, and that's next week. So if you know anybody who's a Godsmack fan, likes to talk about Godsmack, hear about Godsmack, send them this way. Let's keep it up. Let's keep this going. Let's set this thing on fire. I want to thank each and everybody who watched last week's episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Again, let's tell everybody who's a Godsmack fan, hey, check this guy out. Smack this, the Unofficial, because I want to engage with fans. I want to hear from you guys. We're all one big Godsmack family. So, I'll see you next Thursday. And you just got